Hello, Divine Feminines. How are you? I hope you have survived this Virgo full moon. It has been 8-8. Quite a challenging full moon for me. It just depends on the moon. Sometimes it is, sometimes it isn't. This one seems to be bringing us, yes, a lot of mind expansiveness here. We have the Magician and the Ace of Swords. Magician being ruled by Mercury like Virgo is. And I don't know, a lot of people have a different understanding of who the astrological signs of Magician again. Okay. Two of Swords. What astrological signs rule the Magician? I personally have come to learn that it's Gemini and Virgo because of Mercury. Some people, I think Aries. Some people say none. Lovers, 10 of Swords. So we have some doors unlocking. I know the way that I get information, it's a very literal, like I'll channel information, but then I also manifest it, which is a magician word, because that prefix mani means hand. There you go. I manifest it in the physical world to kind of match what the spiritual world is. And I know this is a very off-topic little caveat, but for some reason they want me to talk about it. You know, I was kind of born like half awakened, and then at about age 33 I kind of had another like layer, my first real spirit guide, spiritual awakening. And it was Saint Germain, and he gave me the violet flame and kept telling me the word ether over and over and over again. So much so that at one point it's like I wanted to have a company named Ether. There was like, it was very important to me. And now today, many years later, it seems like just yesterday, to be honest. I'm gonna get sad about it, but this word has come up again. This word has come up in, you know, for those of you that follow all my channels, I manifested this 369 manifestation, and that is kind of now, there's a lot of 369 manifestation, you know, from Tesla's work, but mine is different than the ones that have you write things 3, 6, and 9 times, which is a fine practice if you want to do it. And I always have loved the number 6. It's the number of Venus. And so, the number 6, we'll leave it there. And so, they're saying, you know, physics is having a kind of renaissance in a way where we are beginning to understand what ether is, right? So it's the 5th element. And those of you that know the movie, The 5th Element, it's kind of an interesting little sideline there, but and then there's much more to it. I'm not a physicist. I kind of am a person that takes things from many different fields and synthesizes them, right? I'm a Gemini rising, and that's kind of what I do. I like diversification, and I like to kind of connect the dots. So what they want you to know out of this, and I guess why we're going through it and mentioning it, is that, and if you're connecting with my energy, this is a time where you will begin to see how your thoughts, your feelings, your subconscious, right? The subconscious is our soul's energy and direct line to our feelings. And in our subconscious, we don't differentiate self, right? It's kind of how you're connected back to your soul. In the field of all that is, the morphogenetic field. The ether is the field of all that is. And manifestation is the process of using this energy. Oh, I need these. To bring things from the field into matter. Okay, so there have been a lot of people who have talked about this before, and so we're gaining understanding on how that happens in a more scientific way. Okay, so a lot of people that were talking about it, like Joe Dispenza, yes, he had science. He used like some science to back up some of his things, but now we're getting a more like physics-based science coming in to begin a process of understanding the great mystery here. And what does that mean? That means those of us that practice conscious manifestation are beginning to leave doubt behind, which is a beautiful thing. Okay. That was a long introduction to this reading. And it's a great sign when we begin to leave doubt behind. That's a beautiful card to come up there, because as you know, a while ago, it kept coming up every day, and it was a portal. And I do feel like this information is kind of coming through a portal. And there's, I don't pretend to know and understand all of physics and the physics behind what's going on here. We have 7-7 again with the 7 of Pentacles. And then we have the 6 of Cups on the bottom of the deck. So as we leave doubt behind in any situation, around any subject, this makes us stronger. It is kind of strange, I think, that doubt is what precedes the level of 500, love. And with anything we are trying to believe in, we generally kind of go back and forth over that line many different times. And what love really means is in this context, it's like a self-based, lack of doubt. Wow. Okay. So you're having a lot of fear about what could happen. And I can see now how doubt is kind of playing into us. We have all this purple right here in the middle. That's beautiful. We love that. I wonder if purple is going to come out in the color cards, because I see that's the crown chakra. So we have a matched pair here who really didn't show themselves until, you know, everything was kind of laid out on the table. And I do think that they're bringing a metaphor through on that. Although we have the High Priestess and the Knight of Swords here. I think this is the standoff energy where even if you're talking, see your heads very close together. Oh man, I have to get this card. I don't know why. I have to get this deck because I just saw something in my mind and I think it's in this deck, which I have not used in forever. I think it is in this deck. Let's see if it comes out. Okay. It's this other deck to the Psychic Tarot from John Holland. This one. There's two. This is the other one. Okay. So I haven't used these in forever, and I will say that they didn't really resonate with me for a long time. But right now, they're showing me an image. And I think it's in this deck. If not, it's in the other deck. But they're showing me all this purple, and this deck is purple here. So let's see what comes out. So your guys' heads are very close together. Disconnect and boredom. Recognition and reward. Shadow. Look at the Four of Wands again. Heartache and loss. I see you being very, very scared to repeat negative cycles. If things happened, it's this card that they were showing me. I have not seen this card in so long. This spiritual union. Do you see how their foreheads overlap? And then there's like this portal that's opened and this like third entity. So they keep showing me the third entity. And they're bringing up that you have a lot of fear regarding negative past cycles. So let's look at what's here. There's a shadow here that kind of needs to be dealt with. A very large shadow. It has to do with chaos, anxiety, heartache, loss, not being recognized or rewarded, and disconnection and boredom. So these are all like really negative cards here across the bottom. You guys are both like really, really thinking a lot about the shadow. And like we know that shadow, wow. It's crazy. That's just so crazy. Shadow it's literally like freaking chakra fillers. That's hilarious. Okay. Shadow has to be integrated, right? If we keep it in the mind, our shadow, it will run our mind and it will basically keep manifesting from our subconscious. It's like, is there a good analogy? I don't really like this analogy. It's really like straightforward, but it's like, if you're, Spirit seems to love to bring through car analogies all the time. If you're, they're saying because it applies to me so much. It's funny though. if you are wanting to go really fast, but you believe that going fast is dangerous, and you set off in your car, like down a straightaway, right? Like you can see like lights coming up, and you're like, oh, I want these lights to be green because I want to get there fast, and I don't want to stop. I hate stopping. I hate traffic. I hate like, so you think like, oh, I'm asking to go fast, but in reality, you're like, going fast is dangerous, and there's always traffic at this time of day, and all of these different opposing thoughts to what you say you want, right? You're going to constantly get stuck in traffic and at red lights, and you know, that's the way that it works. I've totally forgotten what I was talking about now, but if you don't look at your shadow, there'll be a lot of energy blocks in you. They're making this point. I've never heard it before. I mean, I kind of have, but not in this way. It's like the shadow creates a lot of difficulty in the energy running through your chakras properly and quickly, and it's kind of like a buildup of gunk. It's kind of like detours. It's kind of like you'll constantly be shown your blocks in your subconscious because you're ignoring your shadow, right? A lot of the time when we're working with manifesting, I dealt with this a while ago, and it's like I got really good at manifesting large sums of money. But then what happened was that it went as fast as it came. I literally would feel like I'd create things to spend it on. I would feel like a compulsion to spend it as quickly as I got it. Now, I've fixed that. Like, that's no longer a thing for me. Anything else, Spirit? So one of the things they're bringing up, first of all, they keep bringing up this web. It's like, don't discard, don't ignore the interconnected web of like what you're feeling. Random things that you think you're feeling or are happening out of nowhere. I know some things happened to me that were really crazy things, and part of it is integrating the shadow. Fixed moon, hold your vision. They're not like coincidences. It's time to release negativity. So there we go. Full moon in Scorpio. Be bold and make the first move. Cardinal moon. Fiery climax approaches. Full moon in Aries. Work through your fears. New moon in Scorpio. So we have double Scorpio here. Expect powerful change. Such a powerful card. New moon eclipse. Bottom of the deck. Emotions are running high. You may be getting triggered with someone else. This is part of that. These are not coincidental things that are happening. They're coming to you for a reason. They're showing you. Spirit's really bringing through an energy of like, if you want to right now, that's the important part. You have to want to. Sometimes if it's just time for it to happen, you know, a situation will be forced. You can really think you're doing the right things in the right way, and you will still be forced into dealing with something that you are trying to avoid, right? And that is that whole like pebbles, rocks, boulders thing. So you taking the lead on overcoming your limits, reaching your goals, healing your inner child, working on your self-concept, you know, your self-worth issues. Whenever we're desiring to like make more money, fix our money problems, that is overcoming self-worth issues, speaking our truth, being authentic, and going into that shadow. I mean, I see that all here. It's kind of like, they're showing me like dominoes in rainbow colors and then just like knocking them down. And you really can be very proactive right now. Pisces is such an interesting season because it's so spiritual. We have Saturn there right now, and then we will be getting ready to go into Aries, which is incredibly dynamic. And we have the North Node and Chiron there. So there are destined events unfolding that will lead you ultimately to purpose. And they are around healing self, right? Chiron in Aries is healing yourself, self concept. And me personally, I would take this as a time to go slower, but look at things faster. Does that make sense? If you feel it's so challenging at times when you are triggered, to take that step back and be like, oh, this is showing me something about me. Like, I had an incident the other day that was a very kind of small incident, but it was triggering. And I had a very big incident that was very triggering. And one was much more in control of me than the other. The other one was really quite out of my control now. I had like intuition that something was going to happen, and I kind of ignored it. And they're having me bring this up because intuitively you're having feelings about what you need to address, that you don't want to address these things. And this is really heavily centered, on you right now. It seems to be that, okay, so they're having me bring up something like Aries, last year, the eclipse axis was in Taurus and Scorpio. So it activated some things in you that kind of began that domino progression. And now we have Scorpio and Aries here, both ruled by Mars. That and Mars and Pluto are conjunct in Aquarius. And all the planets are direct until I think mid-April. So this year, the eclipse conjunction, the eclipse corridor, the axis is Aries and Libra. So you're going to feel things on a much more direct level. And on some of these things, you may not be able to placate the relationships around you anymore. Okay, we're gonna move forward now. If you've been like choosing like the other person's happiness over your own, that's not going to be able to continue. So I showed you this card, and now we have this 3 of Cups. And there's a lot here about the third energy. Whoops. You go there. When you have this third energy, so at the bottom of the twin flame ring, you have the feminine flame, the masculine flame. what we're seeing now is the start of that flame being lit up. The purpose of all of this happening is becoming more and more, well, is becoming apparent to you. You're going to understand through these unfolding events what exactly is this third flame mirror protection. Okay, I get where they're going. Play, align your life. We've had playfulness twice now. Boundaries, Lemuria. So there will be activations, and then, yes, trust the niggle. There will be activating codes from Lemuria aligning with you. You will feel these codes activating and aligning. I guess they're showing me this eclipse. I don't know what the first eclipse is. I'm assuming it's an Aries season, and from this card, I'm assuming it's a lunar eclipse, but I don't know. I haven't looked at it. Interesting. So things will either speed up or slow down to show you exactly what this is about. I love that card. That's a crazy card. Okay. Like I said, that's the devil. See the heart in the cage? You have to uncage your heart. This is all the same thing here. You're afraid to lose control. Okay, some of you may be moving. Some of you may be leaving behind people. Some of you may be, I don't want to trigger anybody, but it's like, okay, some of you may be just learning to detach. You may be overcoming some sort of addictive tendency or thought pattern. You may lose your balance a little bit, and you may be figuring out that you have to, these are like things that you are doing to step into this Empress energy, because this is the Empress card here, and this is, well, for me, and you know, this is a period of being alone, and something will come to show you that you are, okay, so you have to prove to yourself that it's kind of like your darkest fear again. We're going through that again here in this. Whatever you kind of think is a situation where somebody is unlovable, this will come to show you that love doesn't depend on you being or doing or having anything, right? So Spirit is sending a message that you are protected. There will be like fated meetings aligning you, codes that activate. Again, we see this here, 3. And we see like the 2 people, you know, everybody is not looking forward. You're looking left to right and behind. And again, the next card under it is 3 as well. We have that third energy really being activated. And through this unfolding of these events, you will come to see a purpose much larger than you yourselves, right? So you can kind of, if you tune in to your heart center, you'll feel this shadow that's a very much present. And if this is resonating with you, you know what I'm talking about. This is not a mysterious, it's going to get you in the middle of the night thing. This is something you knew you should have done a long time ago, probably something you're facing that should be taken care of and wasn't, and now has consequences, something like that. This is you facing your fears. And whenever we face our fears, fear comes from not understanding something. A lot of people have fears around money, fears around health, doctors, fears on things that they feel like they can't control, like falling or social anxiety where they may be rejected. A lot of like performance related fears. If you are in the public eye, or if you do have a high pressure job, that you may fail that, or there's many different things this could be for you. I feel from these cards and this energy I'm getting, it's all in motion now. You may be like thinking, well, there's more to come, or if it's been bad, it may get worse. What I feel right now is it's all in motion. And you will have, I'm going to try to get more information out of this. You will have for some of you, I feel like you are afraid that you can't overcome something. And remember when you line up, you and your twins' energy frequencies line up. It's the exact same frequency. And that's why it doubles. So it's so intensely strong feeling when you're together, because okay, no, nothing else is like that in the world, the universe. Nothing else is like that. And so, in a way, so twin stuff gets really weird really fast. And in a way, that when your energies double and you're in alignment, you kind of become like, for lack of a better term, you know, like a superhero, or you have superpowers, or everything feels way more heightened, but also way lower, right? So frequencies always go in trough and a peak. And so when you have two coming together, it's double the trough and double the peak. So they're saying you two will face this period of fear simultaneously. And you will rise from it simultaneously. Even for my twins whose counterpart is in spirit, which are many, this will feel like that. in alchemy, you know, there's a process of becoming stronger. Temperance. You temper. You overcome your weaknesses by and through this tempering process. So we have judgment here. We have strength here. In some way, the world will judge you. You will judge yourself. There will be some sort of justice served that may not go in your favor. And again, we have the 6th card as I started out this reading. But ultimately, another 6, we will overcome this. And this is a process. We will overcome, right? And obviously the antithesis to the 6 is the 9, because the overall energy that you have here is one of celebration, emotional victory, and you seeing that what you planted will come to fruition. I see this as a very positive outcome. I feel there will be a day of let me get the right word, a confrontation. But they were using the word reckoning, but I asked for another word. Because though this may feel like a battle, you have to fight with someone else. What they're showing me is that this is actually a battle within yourself. And someone else, though it may be negative or feel very negative, someone else is helping bring all of this out in you. Wow, the Source. Beautiful card. Didn't I say something about the Sun? Letting go. 8. Slowing down. I talked about that. Celebration. And look, there's again the 3 in the kind of chakra colors. Creativity, which has been a big theme lately. Transformation. Whoosh. Abundance. Patience. 2 cards with the rainbow on them. 3 actually. The burden. Consciousness. Trust. Projections. Aloneness. Exhaustion. So this is a very Lemurian card right here. You're going to have to really rely on your own guidance. This is a process of, like they're saying, cleaning out the chakras, cleaning out these energy wheels, letting go. And Bob Proctor always used to say that, oh, what was it? It was like slowing down so you can speed up. And it's like, what he was talking about was getting really sensitive to when you're just emotionally reacting to triggers and really seeing through your own projections, right? We have this projections card. Really seeing through why do we make things harder than they actually are? It's because we're projecting a lot of fears onto them. Aloneness, projection, consciousness, exhaustion, the burden. We have it in our mind. This is all like coming from Bob. I feel like this is all channeled from Bob. We have it in our mind that our happiness comes from no problems, leisure, just basically that, right? We'll be happy when we can just sit and do what we want. We don't have anything to take care of, no responsibilities, nothing's going wrong. And yet it is kind of our greatest satisfaction and celebration that comes from us working towards unleashing all of our creativity and transforming all of our innate abundance to be out in this world, right? Abundance is just you bringing you to the world and connecting yourself to many as a vessel of source, right? And learning not to judge who we are. So, as a kind of side note here, one of the big kind of lessons I have learned, I don't know why they want me to make a personal note here, but is that I often have a weakness of not asking for help when I'm in a very bad and difficult depression or situation. Though I may be great at doing my shadow work and facing it all, I have a tendency to just allow myself to suffer because I don't ask for the help that I need. And for me, this is one of the big lessons I've been learning in self-worth, right? Is that relationships aren't really equal unless you can. Some of the time you carry more of the burden, and some of the time they carry more of the burden. And sometimes you have to demand in a relationship that they ask you, I mean, you can ask them to take on something you can't deal with right now. I'm not sure why this is coming up, but this is part of what I've been going through, is like living the consequences of not asking for help or not being open to receiving help, and not facing things I didn't want to deal with. And so we have Diamond Light, Pisces energy, aim higher, paper money, which is always about self-worth. I feel anxious when I think about contacting you. Like attracts like, communication will come soon, knows your twin flames, something is telling me to talk to you. This is like the third go for it card we've had. You're so spiritual, I feel inadequate. Scorpio, I miss your laugh. Taurus, interesting, I brought those both up earlier. I looked up twin flames. I feel stupid for running. You're so lucky. You're so amazing. I'm so lucky. I don't know what to say. Cancer, Platinum, you changed me. I still fantasize about us. Saturn, the rat, they're manifesting you. I miss your touch. Feeling insecure. Bottom, we have Virgo. Seeing signs, imagination, I drove by your house, gold, sacred geometry, Gemini. Not sure why we needed so many of these today, but there's something here about when this card comes out versus this card. These are these two energies I was talking about doubt, love. Doubt, love. There is a settling in their heart, because I think this has already happened for you, there's a settling in their heart of awareness. And they're drawing me to a book on my bookshelf that says self-aware. And I think it's specifically about self-awareness. Some portal has opened up regarding self-awareness, and then they're drawing me to the other book, which says be here now. So they're figuring out that a lot of their self-destruction comes from like portaling into the past or portaling into the future. And they're specifically bringing up drinking alcohol here, that this happens more when they drink alcohol or take substances, and for some, not all, of course. And for some reason, knowing this particular fact is important to tell you, to share. For some of you, there maybe was a situation where they drunk dialed you, or you saw each other drunk, and what they have realized about that. So let's see what they've realized. What deck? And I get the feeling there's like embarrassment around this. It could have not, for some of you, it didn't have to do with alcohol, but for some of you it did. And there was just some kind of embarrassing thing that happened that brought them a lot of awareness. For some of you, this may have been around Easter, spring, showing me the rabbit. It has to do specifically, how they brought this up was that like attracts like, and you guys were like in a similar vibration or doing something similar. I want to be like you. I'm seeking revenge. Oh, I wish you wouldn't push me away. Okay, well, this is really interesting, is that there was fears in both of you that you kind of both wanted to be the one that pushed the other one away, or you were both feeling like there may have been a misunderstanding that they were trying to match your energy or you were trying to match their energy. And so they played it cool and thought that this would work better. It's interesting. So my left shoulder is tingling, which is like kind of like a mother burden, something that's left from their mother or your mother or both. So I think it was about like not being too eager or needy or trying to be like to look cool. So I think you guys misunderstood something that was said by the other one. That was like, if they wanted to, they would. If they liked me enough, they would fight for me. I think that was both of you, honestly. You're the reason I keep going. I secretly admire you. I've been up all night thinking about you. Isn't this crazy? It's like, I want to be like you and I secretly admire you. I don't know. There's a feeling here. I'm lost without you. I think you are out of my league. I am who I am. Scared of commitment. think you're hot and want to get back together. I don't know. I really both think that you two, whatever this is, thought the other one wouldn't give up or just go away. Even if you pushed them away or they pushed you away. I'm thinking of forever. Don't forget about me. I only believe in science and facts. That's crazy because I kind of brought that up. Okay. This is really such a cute energy. It's so funny. It's like, there's this really weird feeling of resisting transformation, but knowing that it's so weird. Okay, it's like you guys are both going through a transformation, but there's a lot of stubbornness around it, and a lot of like, I'm not going to change for him, and him going, I'm not going to change for her. But also knowing that they're kind of showing me a water slide, and you guys like both trying to like put your hands on the side and there's really nowhere to go. Like, you're not going back up the water slide, right? But you're like, I'm not going down that water slide. I'm not going into that pool of transformation. No way. Because this is me, and take it or leave it. But you both are like wanting to just ride the ride. They're again bringing up like that with the red light thing, with the slowing down. It's like you guys want to go fast, but you don't trust the process, and that's what's slowing this all down. Thank you, Spirit, for that beautiful message. That was really lovely. I love when they kind of link it all together like that. So yeah, you're your own worst enemy, but it's not just because you're making it all up in your head. You guys have dealt with a lot of things, and there is still fears here. And if you don't, the faster you deal with your fears, the faster you face that. They're specifically bringing up this card, inadequacy. It's like overcoming. Okay, I hear what you're saying. Overcoming things. You don't overcome things by thinking about the thing that's making you held up more. That just makes it worse. You overcome things by, like, there's a book on my shelf called Open Heart Therapy, and it's like they are literally saying you have to perform open heart surgery on yourself, which is a crazy thing to say. Okay, so what do you want me to do now? Do you want me to talk about more about how that happens? Okay. What cards do you want to use? Okay. Those 3 decks. Okay. So this is like the beginning of kind of the advice period. So we'll do these 3 decks, and then we'll do the last 3 decks. And so you have Gaia's Garden. They have the Web Weaver, which they're showing me, the spider web. He's kind of trying to trap you in a web here, and I think you feel that. The Arrow Master. Hitting the mark, intention, and detachment, which is a 10 card. There's a little fairy on it too. Interesting. Intention's a very interesting word. Gaia's Garden. Fruition, abundance, reaping what you sow. So you will have to reap what you sow. And they're saying like 95% of it is good and 5% of it is bad. And you're taking that 5% and you're making it like 1,000%. That's what's causing you so much trouble here. I believe 18 is, God, I want to say it's a death card, but I'm not sure. That's too far. 13 is death. I forget what 18 is, but the web weaver, synchronicity, divine intelligence, cause and effect. Again, the same thing. Karma. Wow, that's crazy. Lady of the gift, generosity, receiving, withholding. So 3 cards of reaping what you sow, getting what you give, karma, receiving and withholding. The infinity sign, correct? What are the other decks? This one. So I guess this is kind of how it will play out, and then we'll get an ascended master to see who you can ask for help with it. I'm kind of I'm still blown away by tarot and spirit sometimes. Just saying, don't freak out. Okay, water element, sensing, Aries, I am. Sagittarius, I see. That didn't give me that much. Libra, 6th house routine. So this will be changes in your everyday life. As I talked about, we have the fate of the North Node in Aries with Chiron. Do you want more than this? I'm a little confused. Okay, well, we'll just do these then. They're asking you, oh, wow, that's amazing, to really tune into your intuition, your sensing element in your home. Like, they're giving me some really, to be really meticulous about your home. I'm going to add another deck here. I'm going to do that and then these. So I'm not getting so much information. For your masculine, some of them may have temporary move, or they may they're giving me some crazy stuff. Undergo some therapy. Some may have just a few may have a surgery, and a few may have a stay somewhere else, right? Hospital, jail, mental health, something like that. There may be some period to assist them in healing. Okay. So you have dream, a beautiful dream. So you have very like Neptunian, Piscean energy. Inspiration, interesting. And then we have inner trust. As I said, this is that's crazy. Free from judgment, free to love. So this was exactly what I was talking about when I was talking about that there will be like a reckoning, a judgment day. Beyond the mind, the heart beats. And there's a little like nest in her hair and a little shell, I think by her, like the shell I was talking about. The DNA strand here, right, in the solar system, these beads. And it's like all of these beads, these pearls, making up the universe. This is about learning to trust yourself learning that you are love, even if I think that we think that it's kind of a thing in society, like good people are deserving of love and bad people are not deserving of love. And this is an integration of you understanding that sometimes people who are good do bad things. And I talked about this, I think, yesterday again, where sometimes bad things happen to good people. And really, when you understand it from a meta perspective, there are no bad people. We are all source energy, right? And this is a refinement of that. Lady Nada, heart awakening. Radha, soul flame. Hilarion, divine healing. And Mercury, open communication. This is a process. I kind of knew she would show up. She's Saint Germain's twin, and I talked about him in the beginning. Divine order. Do what feels right. An important lesson is unfolding. So I feel very much that Saint Germain is present. They watch over the twins directly. So we have awaken to acceptance and divine love. Give and receive in balance. Rediscover a lost part of yourself. Experience relationship harmony and healing. And then we have between you, honor your sensitivity, which, yeah, this was sensing up here. To recharge and heal. Your light can support others. So this is a beautiful messages, if not like somewhat esoteric, about this unfolding lesson that's happening. And I feel like, you know, again, I don't feel like this is something that's going to really surprise you. I think you probably know already what is going on. And so let's get advice. It's getting dark now. Today went very fast. I'm not going to get Ascended Masters because we already had them. So we'll just do, oh, okay. He wants me to do this one. We'll just get some guidance here. Remember, you can call on these energies as you need them. Guardian and go outside. I can feel in the collective that there's some fear. Work with the violet flame to transmute that. White Tara, sensitivity again with the lotus. You are becoming increasingly sensitive. Avoid harsh relationships, environments, situations, and chemicals. Irene, peace. There is no need to worry as everything is working out beautifully. Bridget, don't back down. Stand up for what you believe is right. And then we have Kuan Yin sitting in the pink lotus. Release judgments about yourself and others. Again, that word judgment coming up. Focus on the love and light that is within everyone. So if you are going through a very, very difficult situation, like I have been, there's a powerful lesson, right, in there for your heart to choose peace. And you're going to have to come to your own center of balance to rectify this in your own heart. You have rites of passage. They have self-love. In between, you have Mother Earth again, clarity and creativity. So beautiful energies. And then Libyan Tech Gold manifestation, and then Emerald Heart. So a lot of heart energy, heart colors here. Heart chakra being awakened, and Mother Earth and outside, and White Tara really holding you as you go through these strong rites of passage. These are, they're saying big boy lessons. These are big boy lessons here. These are not little lessons. These are lessons that will boil down to you having to make decisions on your own. Again, water dragon, royal and blue gold dragon, green and gold dragon from Sirius, and then we have a black dragon from Saturn. Brings you wisdom through spiritual discipline. Concentrate, focus on your ultimate vision. Congratulate yourself. You've passed a test. This is a big test. You will pass it. I have faith. This is for your higher good. I wouldn't just bring you information like this and say that it's lost. I do not believe that. I believe that hopefully by giving this explanation, you are better able to deal with these things and learn to overcome your fears and learn not to react so much. Water dragon helps you flow easily around obstacles. Christ's light and love are flowing. Develop your psychic abilities. I think this is the third or fourth card that has been talking about you becoming increasingly sensitive, increasingly psychic. Don't make that bigger than it is. Okay? Go with the flow. That is just your psychic antenna, your third eye, getting better at picking up information. He has royal blue and gold dragon, strengthens you to stand in your power and wisdom, right? You're waking up. You're speaking truth. You're having clarity. And again, it's coming up. It's like this misunderstanding about fighting for what you want. There's some dormant part of you, us, all of us as a collective, that if you're feeling this, right, probably in your home, because the 4 of Wands has come up multiple times, the number 4 has come up multiple times, and 6, it's the way that we love in our home, in our foundation, that you've got to fight for what you want. And you may, because I can feel it now in my throat, just like closing up, like you may have been very, very silenced as a child. You may have been very punished for speaking up or being smart alecky, right? It's pointing out where adults, authority, were being hypocritical. Okay. This energy's making me tired. Okay. Green and gold dragon from Sirius brings universal knowledge to your spiritual pathway. Learn about spiritual technology and be a transmitter of sacred knowledge. Hold yourself to a certain standard. I have tears coming out of my left eye. So it may have well been your mother who didn't stand up for you or was harshly critical of you. It's easy to attack people, especially when it's like online or from a distance. It's very easy. They're saying like, hold yourself to the standard you want other people to hold themselves to for you. Okay? And then we have, I already read this one, brings wisdom through spiritual discipline. So messages from your twin. If you're still here, I very much appreciate you. If you'd like a reading, I have a few, but they'll be done quickly. So it'll be probably by tonight or tomorrow. And those are on my Etsy and my Stan store. Stan store, it's a 3-hour turnaround. So, power. You instinctively know what is right for you, and you have the power to say no or walk away at any time. And that may be another thing. You may have had a really hard time saying no because you were a people pleaser, a placater, and it was kind of on your shoulders to make everything flow correctly, right? Healing. Imagine yourself and your beloved surrounded by light. Feel your relationship being healed at this very moment. He's going through a lot of healing of the inner child. That for kunzite, that's really, if I were to tell you to get one stone as a twin, it would be to have kunzite and black tourmaline around you. Sacred union, honor and treasure the relationship, for it is truly sacred. And a lot of what's coming up too right now, it's like talking negatively about your twin or talking negatively to or about yourself is exactly the same thing. You have to get that, like they're giving me an equal sign. You have to understand that, like in your heart. Your twin gives you the most direct mirrored information that you can have about yourself. And you're ready to have it, otherwise it wouldn't be active in your world. And this is a very high level of awakening. It doesn't make you better than anyone else, right? Everyone has a twin, they just haven't gone through the awakening. And so emotions are a natural and necessary part of life. They can also distort your perception and cloud your vision. In order to see things clearly, we must let go of resentment. So again, they're bringing up this thing to me where you may have some little ball of resentment in your heart that you're holding on to, and him too. And when you guys try to come together, it flares up, and you misunderstand. Oh, he doesn't want me. He wants somebody else. Oh, he didn't pick me. He picked something else. Oh, he doesn't love me. He loves something else, himself, or whatever. Because he isn't fighting for you, and you're not fighting for yourself, okay? They really want you to understand that this is a period of time where things are going to come into your life. And instead of fighting them, you're going to have to flow. This is exactly what they're telling me. You have to flow like water. You have to ground your energy and be present. When you get triggered, stop. Don't react. And I will be doing some more stuff on self-regulation coming up here soon. Now. And emotional regulation. Go to emotionally regulate yourself some way and get out of the trigger, and then look at what is being triggered in you and why. Remember, if there's communication, time does not matter with twins. It doesn't matter if you react in 5 minutes or 5 years. However long it's going to take you to learn that lesson is how long it's going to take you. So all I'm trying to do is bring you information to help you uncoil, unravel what you need to learn. And you're going to have to take the responsibility on yourself to understand, if you're on a twin flame journey, that's what this is about. It isn't about, does he love me? Is he thinking about me? Does he want me? Why isn't he texting me? Why isn't he calling me? Because we all wonder those things. But the deeper layer is that he is showing you information for you to ascend into a higher frequency. And all that ever equates to, the end game of this is self-love. Now I'm getting really hot because I hit on something that's very important, and maybe hopefully you hear it, hopefully you understand what I'm trying to say, and I try to put it into the most common language that will come out of me, for as many people to hear it, right? It's so crazy. It's like, I had a course. Oh, my body's so hot. Okay. I had a course and I listened to it and I was like, oh, this is really valuable information, some of it. But I didn't really do anything with it. And I kind of just left it and I just kind of took it, and now I went back and I listened to it again. And now that I'm at a different frequency, it was crazy good how much was there, right? How much if I just followed it step by step, I would have already done the thing I wanted to do. But my mindset wasn't in the right place to do the things she was telling me to do. So that's what I'm talking about with frequencies, right? I'm just going to get you guys a couple more cards. Right. When you're triggered, take a break. Have a way for you to disconnect from the trigger. So this is what Source is bringing you, for you. Starseed, what lights you up? He has the Great Gathering. It's all coming together. Intuition, intuitive hits, soul tribe. And then answer the call. What is your soul calling you to do? Kind of knew that Marco card was going to come out. I'm not going to read all these cards, but you got 5152, which is crazy. Archangel Metatron's cloak and Mother Mary's aquamarine mantle. These are both things you can ask these ascended masters to put onto you. The cloak is to protect you from lower energies, and that allows you to link up to the 7th dimension and hollow earth and access wisdom from the 4 ascension planets. You can walk, talk, and stand in your power. So Archangel Metatron, if you would, for those who want it, please place your cloak around the twins that say yes now. If you want that, say yes to Archangel Metatron. And then Mother Mary's mantle. She radiates her high-frequency aquamarine light and spreads compassion, empathy, kindness, healing, and love. She suggests that you open your heart and offer everyone who touches your path these higher qualities. She will grace you by placing her aquamarine mantle in your aura. You are reminded there is only love. So there is nothing to forgive, right? We learn, right? We learn from everything. We evolve if we choose. Mother Mary, please place your aquamarine mantle in the twins' auras who say yes now. So if you want this protection, mantle of love, say yes. So Marco, for him, it represents the highest galactic confederation, the capital of which is Saturn. He liaises with the Commander Ashtar of the Intergalactic Fleet to bring us wisdom and knowledge held by stellar cultures. He also assists Hilarion, who we had in the middle here, the 5th ray of technology, which we had in the dragon here. Science and knowledge to enable people to expand to higher mental abilities and develop spiritual technology for the future. Your guidance is to open your mind to communications and connections from other star systems. And then Kuan Yin is to act from your divine feminine wisdom, right? We're grounding in divine feminine wisdom, the masculine is. This is building the Antakarina bridge to source, where we will see the return of the divine feminine to earth, right? Re-empowering women everywhere and bringing forward feminine wisdom in men. She's inviting you to develop your feminine qualities, including healing abilities, finding ways to nurture and empower others. Give yourself permission to go with the flow and share. That's like the 4th time we've had go with the flow. So you're going to find yourself in situations you did not necessarily expect to find yourself in. And wherever you are going, I have big chills now, you are going to bring your light and your healing to those places, okay? So do the work you need to do, not to fear, to regulate yourself and understand that you may be being sent to a dark place to be the light there, okay? I love you. Bye.